Hey everybody, Rhys here, coming to you from Garrucha, Spain. Got the Chiringuito here behind me, and the palm trees, and everything's lovely. I am here with tip number 14, and it's about intimacy. And intimacy seems like, well, that can't be that hard a concept. But what really is intimacy? Our problem with the English language, and I don't know how other countries say it, but intimacy for us tends to be with your closest soulmate and lovers and the intimacy that comes between that type of a relationship. But is that really intimacy? And is sort of the closeness or sexuality or is that really what intimacy is? And a lot of people would say no. I have a lot of intimacy with not just with my partner, but out in the woods. It's me in the woods, or I have incredible intimacy with my dog. I have this deep connection, and some will say, well, I have less intimacy with my partner than I have with my best friends. So there's a part of intimacy that that seems like it's going to be between two, and it just depends on which two create the intimacy. And this is really the how we miss what really intimacy is. And when our brain sort of says, oh my God, I feel this, because intimacy, when you feel it, is just luscious. It's love on steroids, right? It's love with an expansion that's so far beyond. So love is that sort of melting feeling, and we talked about love on one of the other tips, it's that melting feeling, but it's melting into sort of like the universal. Intimacy is where you are so connected at all points to all things, and it's just this beautiful expanded awareness, right? It's just incredible. And what happens with the brain, since the brain is object related, and there's a whole theory of psychology called object relation theory, and the brain is actually object related. So when you have that experience, whenever you have that experience, your brain's going to look around and go, whoa, what made that happen? That was incredible. And so often it's after making love, or after you have a deep conversation with somebody, or after a nice walk in the woods, or after sort of wrestling with your doggy and snuggling with your doggy, that you feel this sort of like this oneness with the universe. And you say, well, that's the situation. And so in our mind, we create intimacy as a situational issue. But the truth is that intimacy is actually an essential state of being. It's a soul state. It is literally when you are your soul that's also running its awareness through a human body. So the human body has an infinite capacity to feel that we only use like 2% of usually. And when you're in intimacy, it's just all channels are open. It's like, all channels are now open. Call in. And so you have this amazing connection. And it is not actually something that is driven by an other. The other has given you, or you give yourself permission when you're in relationship with somebody, when you have this situation, you say, oh, I can let down my guard, this thickness, this alligator skin that we all have to life, and we let that down. All of a sudden, this natural permeability makes us connected in every direction, all ways, mentally, emotionally, physically. We're intimate with the universe, and that is what intimacy is. And so trying to take that away from, the objects, because if we have to have the object to feel intimate with our lives and with our soul and with life in general, we are constantly going to be demanding that, and that can become an addiction. We'll be addicted to getting that, and that'll be how I'll have this, and then it won't do it anymore. And you're like, oh God, it's not that anymore. No, now it's this. But it's not. This natural state of living in your soul is intimacy. And it's what we crave the most. It's when the souls are totally unified. And by the way, in the soul state, souls are like, just picture them as like starlight that expands infinitely in every direction. That means that all souls are already totally entwined, totally enmeshed within each other. There's no separation between souls. There's only separation when we're in our bodies. That's why we think it's us and something else that let us feel that, but it's not. It's when we connect to that deepest soul state within us, that's what intimacy is. So, tip number 14, awakening tip number 14 is intimacy. Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed that tip as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you. And I just wanted to let you know that these awakening tips, I'm going to continue to do them over the next 2 months, right up to our event, our big flagship event each year, which is called Awaken. And these awakening tips are just the tip of the iceberg as to what you're going to get in a 2-day event, May 20th and 21st, at the Holiday Inn in Dedham, Massachusetts. It's going to be awesome, and we've used that hotel before. They're fantastic. It's a great place to have it, and we are going to share with you as much as we can the experience of really being in the Rhys Thomas Institute of Energy Medicine. And these tips are just like I said, sort of like the primer for what we're doing there to sort of get you going. So if you're interested in finding out more about the live event and getting the $50 ticket, which actually is a $50 ticket for the whole 2 days, and you can bring a friend. Click on this video, and I'd love to see you there. And you can always email support@rhysthomasinstitute.com if you have any questions or want to bring a big group. We'd love to see you there. So enjoy, and I will see you on the next tip.